you know what excavate means?
Yeah.
What does it mean?
It's like you kind of like dig it out.
Yeah, it's a really fancy word. So I want you to excavate from this story, sort of dig out either phrases or maybe even complete sentences or maybe just a word out of it to build a poem. And I would do it chronologically because that would make more sense.
Yeah.
But you don't have to.
But I definitely want to do this whole part.
That whole first part?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is what I would recommend doing. Just so, like procedurally here, logistically, I would copy this. I'm just going to drag over it because you want to keep that intact, right?
Yeah.
So I hit Control C, get off of it. I'm just going to paste it down lower so I know it's up there for us to look at. But I'm going to put this down here, and then we can just start playing with this thing. We can start cutting things out, okay?
Yeah.
Remember, we can always go to the back button or the forward button. So I'm going to read it out loud to you. So no, you right now, you highlight the actual first lines that you definitely want. Just highlight that for me. You want to have in there for sure.
That I definitely want to have in there.
Okay, so that's obviously like the first sentence. So let's just Control C that, and then we're using up a lot of space on the document, but that's okay. And sometimes you might have two documents open, but I don't want to do that because it takes too much time.
Yeah.
Let's just look at this first line. So we dug out this first line. And this is sort of like found poetry, which I didn't teach yet. So you can take someone else's writing, like a song. Did we do this before?
Yeah.
What did we do it with? I forget.
Somewhere only we know, we were allowed to take like a line out of it if we wanted to.
Oh, that was one line. That's different. That's just like alluding to someone's piece, like a writing or something like that. This is different. Like you take sections of a novel maybe. So you might read, what's a novel that you read recently or a chapter book?
We're reading the Gamish Common Humanities.
So in that book, you could focus either like maybe on a chapter. Is it broken into chapters?
What? Yeah.
Or the whole book. And what you try to do is, and there's different kinds of found poetry, you try to take out enough pieces, like sentences or phrases, and put them in chronological order, almost so like to retell a chapter of the book, so the reader who maybe has never read the book before can read your found poem and sort of understand what was going on, but you did it sort of poetically and artistically. You took the words out and you reshaped that author's words. And an author wouldn't mind, they would be flattered that you did that, I think. I would be if you did that with a book of mine. Mine are harder. So we're gonna do that with your own writing here. So this first line, I will remember roaming the streets, lost alone, seeing a different face each block. That's a long first line for a poem, but you could do that.
I want to do these as like their own like separate line.
Awesome. Can I
they
do
should be,
it? Can I do it for you?
Yeah. I think
Okay,
they
so
should
there.
definitely be like line breaks.
Just lost alone like that, or two separate lines?
Do you think they should be two?
Let's see. I will remember. Let's read it. I will remember roaming the streets, lost alone, seeing a different face each block. Or I will remember roaming the streets, lost alone. I think that's better.
Yeah, same.
Definitely. Yeah. Okay. I will remember roaming the streets, lost alone, seeing a different face each block. I love that. So that's done now. So where are we now? Let's just get rid of that. Okay. From this, we know that's gone. What do you want to hit next? What do you want to dig out next?
I don't know.
Maybe don't look at a whole sentence, just look at some words that you could sort of like litter throughout the poem.
I kind of like I walked dirty.
I love that line too, so we got to take that line. And I just copy because it's quicker than having to
Yeah.
retype it. So you see how to do it now?
Yeah.
I'm gonna help you with a couple more, then I'm gonna leave you on your own.
Yeah.
Okay. So you got I walk dirty. That's really a good line, huh? It says I was dirty.
Yeah.
Right? It's really sort of a sophisticated thing. I walked dirty, like telling the reader that the dog was all dirty, right? It's a dog, right?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. What else? Do you need no food?
I don't think so.
Really beside the truck. If I was lucky, the worst part of my time was being shot pain. What's that mean?
Like
Oh, I was being.
I didn't really put any like.
Oh, this is your dog, right?
Yeah.
Oh, tell me a little bit more about your dog.
Well, my dog, we think he's like a pit bull something, pit bull mix.
He's a
and-
rescue?
Yeah, he's off the streets of Trenton, and one of Andrea's friends, who's my stepmom, she found him, and so we were babysitting him, and we fell in love with him, so we got to keep him.
Oh, you told me about you thought it was a chip, right? It wasn't a chip, though?
Yeah, so he had a little bullet in him, apparently.
Is the bullet still there?
It's in his left shoulder blade.
Is it going to get removed or no?
Mm-mm.
Wow. So he's walking around, so you know he got shot.
Mm-hmm.
So we got to keep that in.
Okay.
Okay, so let's figure out how to do that. Oh, so it makes sense now. Because Because you didn't have the punctuation there for me to
Yeah, I
understand,
did-
because the
I-
pain, I got it, no, it makes sense.
I just kind of wrote everything.
And that's what writers do. Just writing your stream of consciousness and all the things you want to get down is fine, because this was pre-writing anyway, right?
Yeah, because when I write, I feel like I lose my track when I put punctuation into it.
But you always know to go back and do it later, right?
Yeah.
Cool. I've seen your writing, it's fine, your conventions are good. So, I was lucky, if I was lucky, the worst part of my time was being shot.
It's like new food really besides a drop constantly if I was lucky.
Ah, okay. I still think you should just maybe stick with this. This is my suggestion, you don't have to do it. I'm gonna take this out. Let's just put this down here now. The if I was lucky, the worst part of my time was being shot, down here.
Oh, that kind of sounds like that might if he was kept if he stayed out there, then it would have been worse.
You're right. In fact, you know what I'm thinking too, and I'm gonna leave you with this. This line doesn't necessarily even have to be here chronologically. It could be somewhere else. Okay? But you can leave it there for now. Here, you read your poem so far to me.
Okay. I remember roaming the streets, lost, alone, seeing a different face each block. I walked dirty. If I was lucky, the worst part of my time was being shot.
Wow. Good job. So go on and write it on your own. You know how to dig out now?
Yeah.
Just dig out different lines, okay?
That makes sense.
Always be aware too of like longer line, shorter line, longer line, little longer line, shorter line, like the varied sentence.
Yeah.
Actually, not sentences, varied line lengths. Okay?
Yeah.
Good job. I love it. Good job.